little bit of we'll go down this list one at a time here. First story we got to talk about here. Giants fire offensive coordinator Jason Garrett. All right, it's time, folks. We gave him the benefit of the doubt. We gave him his second and third chance. We were buying heavy, folks. If you go into our preseason shows, we were buying heavy into Jason Garrett with all this great talent on this Giants team. We were expecting Daniel Jones to really take this next step like we just saw from Josh Allen, like we kind of saw from Kyler Murray the last couple of seasons. So, this is what we were expecting from this Giants offense, but it just did not look anything good the entire year. And I know Saquon Barkley was out, but he was finally good to go last week against the Bucs on Monday Night Football. And this was really the chance for Jason Garrett to show, all right, this is what we can do when we're fully healthy. This is what this offense is truly all about. And I know you're going against the Bucs and it's tough, but this is prime time football. This is everybody finally healthy, having Darius Slay and Kenny Galladay and Kadarius Toney and Saquon Barkley all on the field at the same time, all finally healthy. This was your chance, especially on national television. This was your chance to prove, hey, we're good. We've just been battling the injury bug, and that's not an excuse 100%, but this is what we can do when we're 100% healthy. We can compete. We can hang with the best teams in the league. This Bucs team with Tom Brady and a good defense and a huge cast full of weapons that they've got offensively. This was Jason Garrett's statement game to make, and obviously he didn't make it. 10 points, multiple turnovers, never really looked good. I mean, whenever I watch this Giants offense, it seems like every single play they run is the very first time they run that play. It never looks crisp, it never looks smooth, it never looks 100% practice. Daniel Jones doesn't look 100% confident. Even when running, he's a good runner. We do like him as a running quarterback, not 100% a dual threat, but he's got really solid speed and legs. But even when he's running, he looks like, hey, should I be doing this? Like, this was the play, right? Like, I'm a little hesitant. Like, should I keep running? Should I not? Should I throw this? Am I wrong here? It just never looks smooth. It looks like they don't practice, and it truly looks like they don't know what they're doing. There's no cohesiveness in their offensive play calling or what they're trying to do, but you really needed to get it done against this Bucs team, and they just didn't, folks. Do I still have this game open here? I mean, we didn't break down this game, so we can just talk about it quickly here. Daniel Jones goes 23 of 38, 167 yards on 23 completions. Come on. I know you've got gadget players, Kadarius Toney, that you can kind of, utilize a little bit more in the dink and dunk game. I get it. But overall, I mean, that is just absolutely unacceptable. 167 passing yards by Daniel Jones. Let me get this completion percentage up. He went 23 of 38. We got 60%. That's nothing good, folks. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Did he fumble? Darius Slayton fumbled once and lost it. So multiple turnovers. The offense never looking cohesive. Even though you had everybody healthy. Saquon Barkley's back. First game back. 6 rushes? What are we doing? 25 yards. What? And then, Kenny Galladay in the game. Targeted twice. What? Finally healthy. Finally good to go. 2 targets? What? This was your chance to show you can do it, Jason Garrett. After, everybody was off of Jason Garrett when he was the Cowboys head coach. And, they had their right reasons. I thought we could buy into Jason Garrett. I wasn't placing the blame 100% on Jason Garrett for the overall Cowboys' little shortcomings over the last couple of seasons. We gave Jason Garrett the benefit of the doubt here, but it was truly time to be fired, and it's unfortunate. And let's just quickly take a look at what this Giants offense was like in relation to everybody else. What are the yards? What are the numbers they are putting up? So here we go. The Giants offense this season, they put up 189 points. The league average is 238 points through 11 games, what they've been doing. So way below the average of scoring, and obviously you need to score to win games, and we saw them losing games and they're not scoring, and so those numbers do check out right there. They had a total of 3,228 yards overall through 10 games, and the average is 3,600. So they're 400 yards below the average. They're about 50 points below the average overall. Was it in the passing game or the rushing game? Let's see. Passing yards so far this season, they have 2,299, and the league averages 2,451, so about 200 yards below in passing, so they're not good at passing. It's not like, well, they're just not a good rushing team, but they're very good at passing. They're not good at passing. Are they a good rushing team and not a good passing team? They have 929 yards rushing, and the average is 1,162, so once again, about 200 yards below rushing, so they're below average in rushing. They're below average in passing. They're below average in just scoring overall. I mean, these are the offenses that this Giants team is kind of very close to. Let me see if you want your team to be considered in these offenses. The Jets offense, the Falcons offense, the Bears offense, the Lions offense. You ever want to be compared to the Lions offense? I don't think so. The Jags offense and the Texans offense. None of those teams are playoff contenders. None of those teams are the real deal. And the Giants, who have a star-studded offensive roster, are compared to all of these offenses. So it was just unfortunate. Jason Garrett's time, he can't do it. He's just not it, folks. He's not an offense coordinator. He's not a head coach. It's not looking great for Jason Garrett in the overall trying to get a job. I don't think he gets signed now. I mean, who's going to sign him now? There's no point to signing this man now. So, going into next season, I don't see this man having a job. I think his time in the NFL has ran out. He was a coach. He was a coordinator. It's great experience. It's great money. You got the fame. You got the recognition a little bit. But unfortunately, you just can never really get the wins. And a great quote here after he got fired. Jason Garrett on his firing saying, quote, "My expectations for our offense were much greater than what our results have been, and I accept full responsibility for that." So, hey, I give the man credit for, acknowledging, I'm taking all the credit here, not passing the buck, shifting the blame like Matt Nagy has been doing. It's not one of us, it's all of us, putting the blame on everybody. You're the head coach. You're the guy. Take responsibility. You move the ball better when you weren't calling plays because you were out for COVID. That was the best Bears game when you were not a single part in the offense at all. So I'm glad Jason Garrett took responsibility. There's too many great pieces for this team to flounder, and Jason Garrett taking all the responsibility. You got to respect him for that. So for that, we definitely respect Jason Garrett, but I can't see this man. I can't see this man back in the league being another offensive coordinator. I would not hire this man on my team. I'm not having this man run my offense. It's unfortunately over for the Giants. But did he deserve to get fired right now? I mean, who are they replacing him with? Freddy Kitchens? Yes, Freddy Kitchens from the Browns when he was the head coach. He was the interim head coach for the Browns. He went 6-10. Remember Freddy Kitchens, garbage. He went 6-10 with the Browns in 2019. The same team the very next year that went 11-5 with Kevin Stefanski's first time with the Browns there. So just nothing great. And this is what Freddy Kitchens' offense was compared in 2019 around the league. Here we go. The Giants, or the Browns, excuse me. Got to switch the teams here. Browns in 2019 with Freddy Kitchens as the head coach. The Cleveland Browns put up 335 points throughout 16 games. The league average was 365, so below average there. They put up a grand total of 5,400 yards. The league average was 5,500, so below average there. In the passing game, they had 3,500 passing yards. The league average was 37, so below average in passing. Okay, we just saw Jason Garrett be below average in passing. So what's the benefit of having Freddy Kitchens? And then in the rushing game, they had 1,900 yards, which actually was 100 yards above the average in the NFL in 2019, which was 1,800. But that was because they had Nick Chubb. So I guess Freddy Kitchens utilized his players. That was good. That was great because we haven't really gotten that with Jason Garrett either. Now that Saquon Barkley's healthy, hopefully the running game can kind of get back on track here. But at the same time, I don't think Freddy Kitchens is that much. He's not an upgrade. He's a step back because you get the experience with Jason Garrett. He was a head coach. He's been in the league, longer than Freddy Kitchens has. So overall, you don't get anything better. I probably would have kept Jason Garrett this season because the season's basically over for the Giants. You can get rid of him next year. It's not like you've got your replacement. If they're truly sticking with Freddy Kitchens, they're done for next year as well. It's not like Freddy Kitchens is going to be able to increase this offense. So not a great situation overall in the Giants. I think they got to blow it up. I get rid of the head coach. No disrespect to Joe Judge, but he's not a head coach. I mean, we see this on a weekly basis, a gamely basis. He just can't get it done. You got to get rid of Jason Garrett. You got to get rid of Freddy Kitchens, and you probably got to get rid of who's hiring these people at the top in oh, man, the general manager. Oh, I'm blanking on the name. Gettleman. Don't know the first name. Gettleman's the second name, last name, whatever you want to call it. So you probably get rid of David Gettleman? I don't think that's right. Brian Gettleman? That's not right either. You get rid of Gettleman. You get rid of everybody. You clean house. There's just too much potential talent on this team to waste it right now. So we'll see what the Giants do for the rest of the year, but Jason Garrett will not be a part of it. Truly unfortunate. And Matt Nagy, you're probably going to get fired this year as well. Let's skip to this story. Matt Nagy is in some hot water right here. Bears coach. I mean, everybody's reporting that there's multiple people unhappy with Matt Nagy, which is obvious. You just need eyes to see that. I mean, the fact that they had their best game when Matt Nagy had COVID and could not coach, I mean, that speaks volumes, no? And the fact that he could not beat a Lamar Jackson-less Ravens team, I mean, it's just, the proof is in the last, 3 weeks with this Bears team. You get rid of Matt Nagy. But Matt Nagy, Bears coach Matt Nagy, on the report that he's been told he'll be fired after Thursday's game. He said, quote, "That is not accurate. I have great communication with ownership, George McCaskey, and Ted Phillips and Ryan Pace, and I have not had any discussions on that." So, Matt Nagy, you think your job is safe because they have not told you that you are fired, because you have good communication with them, and they haven't told you that you are fired a week before the game where all the reports are saying, hey, we're going to let you go after this game. So, Matt Nagy, once again, he thinks he's smarter than everybody. He thinks everybody else is wrong. He thinks he's right. Well, I haven't told I've been fired, so that report is inaccurate. Who's going to tell the person that they're firing that they're fired before the point that they're planning on firing them? They haven't fired you now because they're not going to have an interim head coach for the Thanksgiving Day game. That makes no sense. So we'll fire you after the game. We'll let you know after the game. We're not going to actively say you're fired and then let you go and coach this game. Who does that? You'll actively probably try and throw the game. I mean, that's why they don't fire you before the point that they have already made it a determination that you will be fired at this point. We're not going to fire you before this point. That's why we put you being fired after this point. So just because they didn't tell you that you're going to be fired, don't think you won't be fired. You're probably out next. And if you are out next, you need to go the same route that Jason Garrett just went. This should be the only and exactly the quote that Matt Nagy should be having once he gets fired after the Thanksgiving Day game. Win or lose or tie, because we know the Lions like tying. Win, lose, tie, it doesn't matter. You're fired. You're done. We've seen enough out of you. You're done. Your time is done here in Chicago. Please leave. And this should be the only quote after they say, Matt Nagy, you're fired. This should be the only words out of Matt Nagy's mouth. Quote, "My expectations for our offense were much greater than what our results have been, and I accept full responsibility for that." End quote. You walk out of the stadium. You don't talk to anybody in the media. You're done. Your time is done. You don't try to interview for another head coaching position or offensive coordinator position or anything like that. You're done. You retire. You're done. You're over. You ruined this Bears team year after year. You're ruining Justin Fields, and you're done. So we'll see if Matt Nagy gets fired. He thinks he won't get fired because they haven't told him he's fired. I think there's some flaws in that logic. And even it's crossing sports in Chicago. At the Chicago Bulls game, they have fire Nagy chants. Matt Nagy has no relation to this Bulls team. He just lives in Chicago because he's coaching the Chicago Bears. So even the other Chicago teams are like, damn, if he was the head coach of this Bulls team, we'd get his ass out of here quick. So everybody wants Matt Nagy gone. Matt Nagy thinks he's going to stay, but we'll see. We'll see come Thursday. It should be an interesting Thanksgiving. As soon as the game's over, they do the turkey leg, whatever. Okay, you're bye-bye. You don't need to ride home on the team plane. It's in Detroit. You don't need to come back on the plane with us. You can do your Urban Meyer. You can have fun on the town because it's going to be your last fun for a while, unless you did some good savings, which we hope you did. So Matt Nagy, you got to go. They're starting to fire people, folks. They're starting to fire. So Jason Garrett was the thing that started the kind of dam for breaking, but now nobody's safe. Matt Nagy, you're up next.